Mr. Botond. Welcome Romania, and in this office where you are participating together with the new general manager of the Romanian Post to discuss about the PostEurop Congress that is going to be organized this year in Romania. What are your first impressions about the Romanian National Post Office, and how are we going to organize this event in Romania?
So, good morning to all of you, and thank you very much for the opportunity to say some words about the upcoming event that PostEurop will hold in September 2017 in Bucharest with the support of Romanian Post, the national postal operator of Romania. PostEurop is an association of more than 50 postal operators from all over Europe. Practically, we gather all the traditional universal service providers from every country, and in this regard, Poșta Română is an important member of our association, not only due to the fact that represents European Union member country, but also as a postal company that has done a lot in the recent years related to develop its services in the terms of letter mail, in the terms of parcel, also in the terms of financial services. And as I just heard from Mr. Stănescu, there are very important plans also for the future, how to develop the services of the post so that it can satisfy the needs of the customers, which are big customers, medium customers, and also the citizens at the end of the day. So in this regard, it is our pleasure to come to Bucharest. So indeed, Romanian Post has been selected as a host because it is a long-standing partner of PostEurop. Actually, it is the third time when we come to a plenary assembly in Bucharest. Already in the 90s we had the first one, and then in 2004 the second one, and now in 2017 the third plenary assembly. And we hope that we can address here topical subjects such as e-commerce, which is nowadays the biggest single development possibility of the postal sector, but we will discuss obviously about all the issues that are of relevance for the postal operators, and I can tell you that we have gotten all the necessary support so far, and we are confident that we will get it also in the future from Romanian Post and also from the potential partners here in Bucharest in terms of the organizational background. And I would also like to add that Romanian Post is member of the management board of PostEurop, re-elected in November 2016 at our recent plenary assembly for another 3 years. Thus gives a special importance for the Romanian company to represent the interest, to represent the ideas that are developed here in Romania, but also to have a regional outlook, because out of more than 50 members, only 11 are represented in the management board, so those who are there have a special responsibility to contribute also in general terms to the development of the postal industry in Europe and also worldwide.
You have a general overview over the national post offices in the entire Europe. How do you describe the main issues in this industry, in the postal office services industry?
Yes, currently in Europe we are in the middle of a huge change, restructuring process. The traditional main area of activity, which has been the letter mail area, is in full decline. We see in most of the countries a decline of 5 to 10% on a yearly basis, and our infrastructure is based on the delivery, so collection, sorting, transportation, and delivery of the letter mail, of direct mail, not only those generated by the population when sending postcards or letters, but also letters sent by the utility companies, banks, telecom companies, the so-called transactional mail. So this is something that is declining, whether we like or not. It's part of the reality. But at the same time, we see a growth, an important growth, significant growth in terms of parcels related to e-commerce, and not only on domestic level in every country, but also cross-border and importing also into the European Union, especially from the Asian countries. And that poses a lot of new challenges for our postal sector that we didn't have to deal with before, in terms of VAT, in terms of customs, in terms of infrastructure, because to deliver letter mail, it can be done in small bags. To deliver parcels, for that we need vans, we need a new vehicle fleet. And for that, this is what I also could underline yesterday during my meetings in ANCOM with Mr. Marinescu, and also in the ministry with Mr. Gianu, that the post operators need everywhere the support of their shareholders, and also from the state representatives in general, because they are universal or public service providers, to support them in this transportation or in this transformation process that doesn't come from one day to another. But the postal operators in Europe, they are ready to take this challenge and to be the #1 provider for e-commerce services. And beyond that, they diversify into financial services, they diversify into e-government services, mobile telephony, so we are optimistic related to the postal industry, and I can tell you that I see similar developments also here in Romania.
They already started from...
Absolutely. So I think that it is fully in line. What is being done here in Romania is fully in line with the European trends. One can say, of course, that they don't have any other possibility, because Romania is part of the European Union framework. We are governed by the same directives, the same European Union regulations. The market is open, the competition is present. All the big players are here also in Romania. Some of them are other PostEurop members, representatives, like DHL is a brand of Deutsche Post nowadays. GLS is a brand of Royal Mail. DPD is a brand of La Poste France. So the competition is big. There are local providers as well, but the best is to face the challenge, to invest, to modernize, both in terms of infrastructure, portfolio, know-how, and the participation, the direct participation of Romanian Post in the international work gives this opportunity to bring the best practice to Romania, and I absolutely see the openness, the readiness on behalf of the Romanian authorities on the one hand, and also in terms of the management of Romanian Post to do all these changes. It's a business necessity, but at the same time it's also important for the society, because we are public service providers at the same time.
Obviously, technology is a key factor in modernizing the entire post industry, yes, not only in Romania but also in Europe. How do you see the connections with the corporate level, but also with the governmental one, to bring new technologies in the post offices?
We are a part of the competitive environment on the one hand. On the other hand, all the main postal operators in Europe, they have the universal service obligation, in other words, the public service obligation. So we have a special responsibility in terms of the economy of the country, in terms of the citizens of a country. So in this regard, certain things can be obviously done by the postal operators alone, by themselves, as part of the pure business environment, but certain things are that are part of our daily operations are part also of public domain, of the public interest infrastructure. So in this regard, we think that the states, the authorities have a role to play to support the postal operators in making the investments that are necessary to face the challenges. Of course, in the context of the European Union legislation, also in terms of level playing field and the competitive balanced environment, but a lot of things can be done to upgrade the infrastructure in terms of automatization, in terms of information technology. We think that though we have a huge physical network, a collection, sorting, transportation, delivery network, a physical traditional logistics network, but at the same time we have to use the most modern tools of the digital technology, information technology. We don't think that simply the post can be replaced by digital. No, that would be one step too far. And this is not our core business. So we don't want to compete with Apple, we don't want to compete with Dell, we don't want to compete with Samsung. So we are logistics companies using, of course, the IT technology in the most adequate way to develop services that take the best from both worlds. I think this is our competitive advantage, and for that the support of the state and authorities in terms of direct investment, but also in terms of regulatory environment, I think it's very, very important.
What was your message for the Romanian government and ANCOM?
In a way, exactly this, that we are part of a complex environment in the middle of transformation, and the shareholders, the regulators, have to understand that they have their own responsibility. The postal operators, on the one hand, they represent the largest physical network, as I just underlined, but at the same time, they are also the biggest employers in every country. PostEurop members employ in Europe only more than 2 million people. 2 million people in every country. It's a huge number indeed. In every country we talk about 10,000 of people. The biggest number is 500,000 of our biggest members. The second biggest has more than 300,000 employees. But even in the smallest countries, it's hundreds of people or thousands of people. So we talk about a special responsibility. We are a key infrastructure element. We believe in that dimension. So in this regard, first of all, the understanding, the positive approach, and then secondly, direct support is very much needed from the government and authorities side. And again, to underline that this can be done with respecting all the competition requirement, the fairness from the side of the authorities, so that they don't create advantageous positions or disadvantage other competitors. A lot of things can be done even in the context of the current postal directive. So we see this in a lot of countries, that a positive approach is given towards the post. In some countries, they sign agreement. For example, in France, there is a regular update of the agreement between the post and the state, where they set the conditions of the service provision and the support given by the government. So there are best practices in Europe, and if this smooth cooperation exists, then the postal sector, including the universal service provider, can play a very important role in the development of the economy.
Is there any project to educate the people that are working in the post offices? We used to have such lyceums here in Romania, dedicated for the post offices workers. Do you have something like that at European level?
Yes, absolutely. It is one of our pillars of activity to be active in CSR area, and there we are running currently a project with European Union funding. Romanian Post is member of this project. It's called Innovate. It's about exchanging know-how, or developing even know-how related to the staff at the postal operators. The starting point has been the diversity in terms of age of the postal employees, but we understood in the course of the project that we have to manage a lot of dimensions of diversity in the area of the postal employment. But this is all based on the available know-how of postal operators in terms of managing human resources. I can tell you that in every country there has been an infrastructure for postal studies. So what has been available in Romania is not unique in this regard. So in every country they take care in one way or the other of the development of the know-how of postal staff. And now on the European level, with European funding, in this Innovate project, but also we are involved in the social dialogue area, where we have a structured dialogue with the unions on European level. So I think we can do a lot, so that HR management, HR development, with educating the staff and to train the staff, to coach the staff, remains on the top level of the thinking of the management all over Europe.
You also manage an initiative that supports the print. Yes,
absolutely.
It has difficult times these days. How would you describe this initiative? How exactly do you support the print magazines?
Yes, our concept related to print power says the following. We understand that letter mail is in decline. And this is probably something that cannot be reversed. Nevertheless, there are a lot of possibilities to slow down this decline, or even to try to stop this decline in some countries, by telling to the decision makers three things. First of all, that letter mail, especially as marketing tool, can be very efficient. We know that people are spammed by email nowadays. If they receive an email, they don't care about that after receiving 100 emails on the same day. So when receiving a letter, it has the so-called letter momentum. So this is what we say. It's efficient. And there are data for proving that. Secondly, we say that letter is environmentally friendly, because we also understood that there has been, especially in Western Europe, a brainwashing in the last 20, 30, 40 years, when they said that the usage of paper means destroying the forests. And in Romania also there are a lot of nice mountains and forests, so it's not true that the post would destroy directly or indirectly anything related to the nature. So it's a neutral tool because paper is recyclable, for example, and paper is produced based on the residual parts of the wood that are used in the other industries, like in furniture industry. So paper doesn't destroy forests. And third, and we have a specific project for that, it's called Keep Me Posted EU. We say that people have to be given the right to choose. Because the worst is if the governments and decision makers force companies and citizens to use electronic means of communication. Because recent studies have shown, for example, in UK, and we cannot say that UK economy would be an underdeveloped economy, these studies show that even in UK, 1/3 of the population doesn't have or doesn't want to have proper access to internet. Only 2/3 of the population is part of the digital economy in this regard. And there are a lot of reasons for that. Of course, there is a part of population, mainly the older part, who are digitally illiterate. It's still the reality. But there is also one part of the population that doesn't have broadband access, for example. Even in UK, when I travel in UK in the countryside, I cannot use my mobile phone for data access because they don't have 4G or they don't even have 3G in some places. And I think this is characteristic to other countries in Europe as well. So I'm using UK only as an example in this regard. And then some people don't want to use because they say that we are fed up with the electronics, we are bombarded by everything, so we want to rely on the letter mail because it can be saved, it can be put in a dossier, while with electronic we don't know cybersecurity risk. So this is the reality. So we have a lot of arguments related to efficiency, environment, related to the right to choose in terms of paper. And if we collect all these arguments and we present to the decision makers, to the politicians in the European Parliament, in national parliament, or to media agencies who take the decision about the allocation of the advertisement cake, then they will understand how it works. And we also see that big companies like Yahoo, eBay, Amazon run campaigns based on paper. They send catalogs. It doesn't mean that they would not be companies based on the IT development, but they are still using paper together with electronics. And we also saw in Denmark, where the government pushed for a conversion into digital, they practically killed the letter mail market. That indirectly causes problems to the Danish economy. So also within this concept, we say that to the decision makers in the business area, in the public area, that be careful, be balanced. So to develop digital should not mean that you put aside things that are based on paper and on the physical reality.
It is a very good message, especially here in Romania, where the distribution network of the press, of the media, almost disappeared. So the PostEurop, for example, would be a very good hub to distribute, because in the rural areas, for example, no one can carry the newspapers to them. So it would be a very good initiative if you come with it in Romania. We have a special case here in our country.
Yes, we have the possibility to provide Romanian Post with all our tools, all our arguments, and of course newspaper delivery is an issue in a lot of countries because it also has special characteristics in terms of the delivery time. There is a difference between urban areas and rural areas, so it's a complex question. We also see that in some countries it is part of the framework agreement state post.
Coming back to the PostEurop event here in Bucharest, what should be your message for the people that are attending this event? That
we are in a very important time of of change, and the postal industry has to be united in terms of facing these challenges. The structural change in the postal industry, the development of e-commerce skills of the postal sectors and other diversification opportunities to let the decision maker understand what our big challenges are, what our big needs are, as we think that we will stay a key dimension of the society, and by gathering all the colleagues from all the corners of Europe already. By being together, by having an event, we can show our presence in the economy, but we can also develop ideas that can be used Europe-wide in order that we can play the role that we are meant to play. And we see it's also a message that makes sense to be repeated in all the countries, that according to the surveys, the Post is among the top 3 trusted partners in almost every country, together with the fire brigade, together maybe with the teachers or doctors. We are a trusted dimension of the economy, of the society, and based on this trust, based on the available know-how, infrastructure, a lot of things can be done in terms of the postal industry development, and people have to be made interested in that, and we have a role to play in this regard now together with Romanian Post.
Thank you so very much, sir.